talk about Iceland. So I went to Iceland in September with my boyfriend and we had a grand time. We went there for 9 days, I believe. One on each end for traveling, so we were only there for like 7 days. No, that's a lie. We went there for 7 days and one on each end was for traveling. So we were there for like 5 full days. So we booked them in May for a September trip, and it was when Icelandair was doing a really big sale. So I don't even know what our tickets were, but I think it was like under $1,000 for both of us for plane tickets. And then we also booked the hotel and 3 different tours through Icelandair, which overall, if I was just going to give that a rating, I would rate that an 8 out of 10 experience level, because you could book pretty much everything you needed for an Icelandic trip if you weren't going to rent a car. So it included your bus from the airport to the hotel, which the hotel we stayed at was Hotel Kletter. Hotel Kletter. I think it's Kletter. I am pronouncing it horribly. It's Icelandic word and I'm doing it wrong. Anyway, so the bus from the airport took us directly to that hotel, which was awesome because then we didn't have to figure out where we were going. We just hopped off. We were like, hey, can we put our bags here? And they were like, yes. Because the airport, we arrived at the airport at like 6 a.m. and we couldn't check into our room until like 3 p.m. So that, that's a long time. So we had our bags there and then just kind of walked around for a little bit, and then we were so tired, so we went to sleep just in their common room on their couches waiting. That was probably like the most annoying times because we were totally exhausted because it was an overnight flight from Seattle to Iceland, Reykjavik specifically. That was crazy. Anyway, but I would say in general, that was a great experience booking through Icelandair for all of those things because it all just kind of connected really easily. The 3 tours that we went on, they picked us up from outside the hotel as well. And then maybe sometimes they would drive us to another bus location where we'd then get on the bus where we were going to do our tour. And mostly they weren't, I think a couple of them were buses and then a couple of them were just like large vans that we took to travel the landscape. So I would highly recommend. The only thing that I didn't love was the volcano tour that we booked was canceled due to weather because it was so foggy you couldn't see anything. So you had to contact Icelandair to get the refund and not just the tour company that they were working with. And it took 2 months to get a refund on that tour, which I guess that's not like a horrible amount of time, but there was like no communication in between those, me emailing them and then them magically giving me the refund like 2 months later. I just thought they weren't going to ever refund me. There's a phone number you could call, but I don't call numbers, so that was probably on me. It probably could have happened faster, but I just wasn't into that vibe of calling someone. Yeah, so the 3 tours that we did were the volcano tour, which was canceled, the Golden Circle and Fontana Wellness, which awesome. You pretty much just saw a bunch of beautiful things, and then you ended it by being in a hot tub and a sauna. Oh, and baking bread, like Zac Efron did. They were very proud of Zac Efron being there and having made bread in their hot spring sand. And then Blue Lagoon. Blue Lagoon is super hyped everywhere, and I'm gonna say it's worth it. It's totally worth it. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced. It was crazy massive. It was essentially like a water park, but just a nice hot tub spa vibe. And the color was amazing. I think just for photos and like being in such an alien environment alone, that's totally worth it. I think we were only there for like an hour and a half, but we could have definitely stayed longer. They have a bunch of other like kind of spa vibes, so you could get a massage and stuff, but that's all extra. So the tour just gave you the ability to enter and a free mud mask. And then I think there might have been one free beverage, but I don't know if we ever got it because we were just trying to get back to a bus so that we could get back home, so that we could get a COVID shot. That's the other thing. We went during COVID times, so you had to have a negative test 72 hours before your departure from Seattle to Reykjavik, and then again the same way back. So booking that was not too hard. There's a ton of resources online, especially on like the Icelandic, just Iceland's governmental website had a lot of references, but we were worried about missing it because we had to go quite a distance and we didn't want to get trapped far away from Reykjavik. Whew, that was a lot. We also booked another tour, and I'm going to butcher the name. Snafelnis tour. That was not through Icelandair. We just booked it through another site. I don't remember what site that was, but there's a ton of different sites that will do van tours, and that one was a van, and it was so long. It was like 11 hours of driving through the Snafelnis Peninsula, but it was gorgeous and creepy. There were a couple of spots that were kind of scary, just had spooky vibes, and I don't know if that's just because there was volcanic dried rock everywhere and like cliffs, or if it was also like combined with the fact that our tour guide was telling us horrific like serial killer stories about the early Icelandic people. Probably that all mixed in made me a little creeped out. Also, there's a spot where we went that was a beautiful, terrifying cliff of like volcanic rock going off the side into the ocean, and the tour guide told a story about, oh yeah, there's this old man and the devil came crawling up these rocks to try to tempt him, and like I think they like played a game or something and the old man won, so the devil left and has never been seen again, something like that. But you could really imagine a devil crawling up those volcanic rocks. Whew. Anyway, because our volcano tour was canceled, we booked instead a whale watching tour, which was, I have mixed feelings. A normal person would be like, wow, that was great, awesome. We went really far out, I would say, more like further out into the ocean than I've ever been on a tiny boat, and you were just a rocking and a rolling, you know. It was kind of terrifying how big the waves got. I got really seasick, but I did see some whales, so it was worth it. Just if you do get seasick, I would not do that. I would just stay in Reykjavik, go to a museum or something, because that was a pretty horrible feeling. I even took like seasickness pills before. I don't know if I just took them at the wrong time, but that was a little miserable, but cool because we saw some really cool whales. So I would recommend that if you don't get seasick. In terms of Reykjavik itself, we had 1.5-ish days to just chill there and kind of explore. It's very cool. The weather when we went was, so we went in early September, and the weather I would say is pretty unpredictable. It had forecasted every day to rain, but I would say it probably rained about 30% of the time that we were there. One time it really downpoured and we were like walking about, so make sure you wear rain gear and like actual rain boots. Not rain boots, just waterproof shoes. You want to be able to move around. We decided not to really take any taxis or buses around Reykjavik itself. We just walked. So be ready for mud, be ready for unpredictable weather, wind, who knows. But yeah, that was fun. I didn't really get the impression that we would need to dress nice at all when we were there, because we were mostly doing tours that would be outside of the city. So I didn't really bring anything like that. I mostly brought hiking clothes and, outdoor clothes, that kind of thing. But I did bring like one nicer top and a pair of jeans, which I did wear the one time we went to one of the nice restaurants. But you could get away with not bringing that stuff, because I would say most people didn't wear anything like that. They were mostly dressed, in like nice outdoor coats, not like wool coats or anything like that, unless they like lived there and could do that. We only brought carry-on luggage, so I had a big backpack and a small backpack, and I just turtled that. So I had the bag on my back and then a bag on my front and just held it like a baby, and that worked out. It might have been easier to maybe bring a one-wheeled luggage and then a backpack, just because when we did arrive we had to wait for probably like an hour or so just to get through customs, and that got a little heavy, but if you pack light, it doesn't matter. I really wanted to bring a small backpack because when we were doing our tours, I didn't want to bring like a huge bag, so the small backpack was perfect for those tours. The last thing I want to know about the Iceland experience before I get into what I packed is that I had crazy jet lag. I normally don't have jet lag, I would say, but this one really messed me up for like 3 days, and the way I navigated that is to just sleep on the bus and van tours going out to places, and I think that really helped a lot. So I would just be prepared to drink a lot of coffee. We didn't really bring coffee on the tours, and that's something I might have changed. I might have just bought like a can of coffee before going, because then I could have been a little bit perkier. Okay, so in terms of what I packed, I think I packed perfectly. I packed, in terms of shoes, I packed my Blundstone boots, hiking boots, and like slide sandals for the saunas and hot springs. They don't provide I mean, I think you can rent some or buy some at the place, but I just would prefer to just bring my own. I also liked that for the hotel, to just slip shoes on to go get breakfast and then come back and get all ready for the day and stuff like that. I don't know if I needed the hiking boots, but it kind of was nice to have one alternate pair of shoes from my Blundstones, just in case it got really wet that day. Then I could just hop into a dry pair of shoes. That was just nice. But I probably could have just done it with my Blundstones and slides. For outerwear, I packed a rain jacket and my packable puffer coat. I think this was perfect. I wouldn't pack differently because the layers was really helpful, because I didn't always need the puffer coat and I didn't always need the raincoat. So that was really nice to just be able to shed layers when I wanted to. In terms of tops, I brought a wool shirt jacket, a wool cashmere cream sweater, a black wool turtleneck, a brown long sleeve, another black turtleneck, but this one's just thin, merino wool tank top, short sleeve athletic top, and then one nice silk button up. Again, I don't think you need the silk button up or a nice top, but it was kind of nice to not wear athletic clothes all the time. For bottoms, I packed some blue leggings, some green leggings, my burgundy hiking pants. I brought a pair of black knit cropped pants that are kind of like knit sweatpants feeling, and then a pair of black jeans for those more fancy times, which I don't think I needed the black jeans, but if you would rather wear black jeans than like leggings, you could probably do that. I just wanted to have more range of motion when we were walking around and hiking and stuff. And finally, I brought a bikini, a one piece, and a wool beanie. You didn't need to bring 2 swimsuits, but I just like to have 2 swimsuits because I like to wash them. The water that you're in is like, I don't remember. There's just a lot of minerals in it, so you kind of want to wash your swimsuit after you are in that water. So I just liked having one that I knew was always going to be dry. All right, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about Iceland. It was an amazing trip. I totally recommend it, and I totally recommend going through Icelandair. That made it super easy. And if you're thinking, oh, but I don't have anyone to go with, I'm so scared. Well, like, chill out, because you can totally go alone. This one was like very much an accessible trip, I would say, for Americans. A lot of places spoke English. I would say most places spoke English. So if you're worried about that, you shouldn't be. It would be fun if you learned some Icelandic before, just to like be a little more chill with locals, but I don't think that's a necessity. You can still get out to all the places you need. All the tours are done in English, so you'd be totally set. And it's very safe, so if you're a single lady and you just want to go travel alone, do it. It was awesome. I would have done it alone if I didn't have a super hot boyfriend that I love and likes to travel with me. So yeah. Peace out. Thanks for watching.